Cambridge Assessment International Education Syllabus IGCSE Accounting 0452 use the syllabus for example 25. So relevant year is 2025. So exams are available in the June and November series. Exams are also available in the March series in India only. So let's have an overview. This is as per Cambridge Assessment Group, Cambridge Assessment. So content overview. So the fundamentals of accounting. So that is the first lesson we will be learning in this. So bookkeeping and accounting. So sources of and recording of data. That is the next lesson. Verification of accounting records and accounting procedures. Preparation of financial statements. So this is just a bird's eye view of accounting principles and policies. Accounting actions. So now let us discuss the accounting syllabus in detail. Okay, the first lesson is unit 1.1, the purpose of accounting. So understand and explain the difference between bookkeeping and accounting. So in this lesson we learn everything about the difference between bookkeeping and accounting. So state the purposes of measuring business profit and loss. Why the one should measure a business profit and loss. Why is it necessary? Explain the role of accounting in providing information for monitoring progress and decision making. So this is all we learned first lesson. So then the second lesson is unit 1.2. So the accounting equation. Explain the meaning of assets, liabilities, and owner's equity. Explain and apply the accounting equation. So in this lesson, we will learn what are assets, what are liabilities, what is owner's equity, and how explain how to apply the accounting equation, how to use, how to prepare it. So all those things we will be learning in 1.2. Sources and recording of data. The development system of bookkeeping. Outline the developing system of bookkeeping, process accounting data using double entry system, preparing ledger accounts, posting transactions to ledger accounts, balance ledger accounts as required and transfers, interpret ledger accounts and their balances. So all these things we will be learning in lesson number 2. So 2.1. So recognize the division of ledger into sales ledger, the purchase ledger, and the nominal general ledger. So that we will be learning in 2.1 in detail. So we will be working out a lot of questions, previous year examination questions, lot of questions we will be working out. So candidates do not need to explain or use folio columns. Candidates do not need to explain or use 3-column running balance accounts. So sources and recording of data continue. So recognize and understand the following business documents: invoice, debit note, credit note, statement of account, check receipts. So complete proper business documents. Understand the rule of use of business documents as sources of information: invoice, credit note, check, counterfile, payment slip, receipt, bank statement. So these are the various source documents. So we will be discussing about this in 2.2. So next lesson we will learn books of prime entry. So explain the advantages of various books of prime entry. Explain the use and process of accounting data on the in the books of prime entry, cash book, petty cash book, sales journal, purchase journal, sales return journal, purchase return journal, and journal. Post the exam entries from the books of prime entry. Distinguish between account for trade discount and cash discount. Explain the dual function of the cash book as a book of prime entry and the user account for account and cash. Explain the use of and record payments and receipts from the bank transfers and the electronic means. Explain and apply the interest system of petty cash. So this will be learning in unit 2.3. So in the next lesson, we'll learn verification of accounting record, that is 3.1 trial balance. Understand what a trial balance is, statement of ledger balance on a particular date. Outline the uses and limitations of trial balance, preparing trial balance, and amendment of trial balance when there are errors, and identify and explain the errors which do not affect the trial balance. So like errors of omission, errors of commission, error compensating errors, complete reversal errors, omission, original entry, principal, error of principal. All these things we will be discussing in lesson 3.1. So next we will be learning correction of errors. Correct errors of means of general entry. Explain the use of suspense account as a temporary measure to balance the trial balance. Correct errors by means of suspense account. Adjust a profit or loss for an accounting period after the correction of errors. Understand the effect of correction of errors on a statement of financial position. So this also we will be learning. So then bank reconciliation. Understand the use of purpose of bank statement. Update the cash book for bank changes, bank interest and paid and received, correction of errors, credit transfers, debit, and direct debits, dividends and standing orders. So understand the purpose and prepare bank reconciliation statement to include the bank errors and credited deposits and unpresented checks. So this is all we will be learning in bank reconciliation lesson. Then we will be learning 3.4 control accounts and understand the purpose of purchase ledger and sales ledger control accounts. Identify the books of time entry as source of information for the control account entries. Prepare purchase ledger and sales ledger control accounts to include credit purchases and sales receipts and payments, cash discount returns, record debts, discount checks, interest on overdue account, control entries, refunds, opening and close value, debit and credit within each account. So candidates do not need to prepare control accounts which are part of the double entry system. Uh, Candidates do not need to reconcile control account balances with the sales and purchase ledger. So this we will be learning in A level. So AS level, particularly AS level, will be learning this. So as of now, in IGCSE, you don't have to learn all these things. So it's not so. This particular part is not there for you now. Accounting procedures. So capital and revenue expenditure and receipts. So distinguish between account for capital expenditure and revenue expenditure. Distinguish between account for capital receipts and revenue receipts. Calculating comment on the effect of profit of incorrect treatment. Calculating comment on the effect of asset valuation of indirect treatment. So all this accounting for depreciation and disposal of non-current assets. Define depreciation. Explain the reasons for accounting for depreciation. Name the described name and describe the straight line reducing balance and valuation methods of depreciation. Prepare ledger accounts and journal entries for the provision of depreciation. Prepare ledger accounts and journal entries for to record the sale of non-current assets, including the use of disposal accounts. So other pages and other receivables. So recognize the importance of matching cost and revenue. So you prepare ledger accounts and journal entries to record accrued and prepaid expenses. Prepare ledger accounts and journal entries to record accrued and prepaid income. So this will be learning in point lesson 4.3. So lesson 4.4, irrevocable debts and provision for doubtful debts. Understand the meaning of irrevocable debts and recovery via the administration of. Prepare ledger accounts and journal entries to record irrevocable debts. Prepare ledger accounts and journal entries to record recovery via the administration of. Explain the reasons for maintaining a provision for doubtful debts. Prepare ledger accounts and journal entries to record the creation of and adjustment to a provision for doubtful debts. So the next step is lesson 4.5, valuation of inventory. Understand the basis of valuation of inventory at the lower of cost and appraisal value. Prepare simple inventory valuation statements. Recognize the importance of valuation of inventory and the effect of incorrect valuation of inventory and gross profit, profit for the equity and asset valuation. So this is a very important lesson. So lesson 4.5. Then we'll be preparing learning preparation of financial statements of sole traders. So explain the advantages and disadvantages of operating as a sole trader. Explain the importance of preparing some income statements and a statement of financial position. Explain the difference between a trading business and a service business. Explain prepare income statements for trading business and for service business. Understand that statements of financial position record assets and liabilities of a specified date. So recognize and define the current contents of a statement of financial position, non-current assets, intangible assets, current assets, current liabilities, non-current liabilities, and capital. Understand the interrelationship of items in a statement of financial position. Prepare statements of financial position for trading business and service businesses. Make adjustments for provision for depreciation using the straight line reducing balance and revaluation methods. Make adjustments for accrued and prepaid expenses and accrued and prepaid incomes. Make adjustments for retail debts and provision for doubtful debts. Make adjustments for goods taken by the owner for own use. So this is another thing you will learning. So partnership. Explain the advantages and disadvantages of forming a partnership. Outline the importance and convenience of partnership agreement. Explain the purpose of an appropriation account. Prepare income statements, appropriation accounts, and statement of financial position. Record interest on partners loan, interest on capital, interest on loan, partners salaries, and the division of balance of profit and loss. Make adjustments to financial statements as detailed in 5.1 traders. Explain the uses and difference between capital and current accounts. Drop partners' capital and current accounts in ledger account form and as part of the statement of financial position. So candidates will not be required to answer questions on the admission or departure of partners, the dissolution of partnership or changes to partner sharing ratio. So this you will be learning in A levels. So particularly A levels, not even AS level, you will be learning in A levels. So preparation of financial statements continued, limited companies. Explain the advantages and disadvantages of operating as a limited company. Understand the meaning of term limited liability. Understand the meaning of the term equity. Understand the capital structure of limited company comprising preference share capital, ordinary share capital, general reserve, and retained earnings. Understand and distinguish between issued, called up, and paid up share capital. Understand and distinguish between share capital, preference share, and ordinary shares, and loan capital debentures. Prepare income statement, statement of changes in equity, and statement of financial position. Make adjustments to financial statements as detailed in 5.1. So you will be learning even this. So candidates will not be expected to understand cumulative and non-cumulative preferences. The right shares, share to share capital redemption reserve. How candidates should understand the redeemable and non-redeemable preferences. So this particular aspect will be done in again in low levels. So next lesson is problem for collection societies. Distinguish between receipts and payments account. And income and expenditure accounts, prepare receipts and payments accounts, prepare an account for revenue generating activities like refreshments, subscriptions, etc. Prepare income and expenditure accounts and statement of financial position, make adjustments to financial statements as detailed in 5.1, define and calculate the accumulated fund. So manufacturing accounts. So distinguish between direct and indirect costs and understand direct material, direct labor, prime cost and factory overheads. Understand and make adjustments for work in progress, calculate factory cost of production, prepare manufacturing accounts, income statement, statement of financial position, make adjustments to financial statements as described in 5.1 for sales. So incomplete records. Explain the disadvantages of not maintaining a full set of accounting records. Prepare opening and closing statement of records. Calculate profit and loss for the year from the changes in capital over time. Calculate sales, purchases, gross profit, trade receivables, and trade payables and other figures from incomplete information. So prepare income statement, statement of financial position from the incomplete records. Make adjustments to financial statements as detailed in 5.1. So apply the techniques of markup, margin, and inventory turnover to arrive at missing figures. So candidates will only be asked questions on incomplete records in relation to sole trader business. And the next lesson is analysis and interpretation, calculation, understanding of accounting ratios. So candidates should be able to understand, calculate, explain the importance of the following accounting ratios: gross margin, profit margin, return on capital employed, current ratio, liquid asset test ratio, rate of inventory turnover, trade receivables turnover, trade payables turnover. So all these things will be learning here. So ratio analysis, it's an important aspect. So then interpretation of ratios, prepare and comment on simple statements showing comparison of results for different years, make recommendations and variations for improving profitability and working capital, understand the significance of difference between the gross margin and profit margin as an indicator of business efficiency, explain the relationship of gross profit and profit for the valuation inventory, rate of inventory, turnover, revenue, expenses, and equity. So interfirm comparison. So understand the problems of interfirm comparison, apply accounting ratios to interfirm comparison. So then the next lesson is 6.4. So interested parties. So who are the parties who are interested in accounts? So candidates should be able to explain the uses of accounting information for interested parties for decision making, owners, managers, trade payables, banks, investors, club managers, other interested parties such as government, tax authorities, etc. So there are some limitations of accounting statements. So candidates should be able to recognize the limitations of accounting statements due to such factors as historic cost, difficulties of definition, non-financial aspects. So these are some limitations of accounting statements. So we'll be learning even this. So we'll be discussing accounting principles and policies. So accounting principles, such as the candidate should be able to explain and implement the principle application of the following accounting principles: matching principle, business entity principle, consistency principle, duality, common consent, historic cost, materiality, marginal measurement, prudence realization. So these are all important aspects you will be learning. So accounting policies. So what is the significance of accounting policies? So candidates should be able to recognize the influence of international accounting standards, understand the following objectives in selecting accounting policies. So comparability, reliance, reliability, understandability. So remember guys, this IGCSE is very important. So because the same thing, most of the topics, whatever is discussed in IGCSE, will again appear in AS next level, that is AS A levels. So we'll discuss. We'll just see what are the important ratios that you need to know. So the profitability ratio is gross margin, that is gross profit upon revenue into 100. Markup is equal to gross profit upon cost of sales into 100. Profit margin is equal to profit for the year upon revenue into 100. Return on capital employed is net profit before interest upon capital employed into 100. So it is net profit before interest. Okay, so capital employed is equal to issued shares plus reserves plus non-current liabilities. So you need to learn this formula. You need to learn them by heart. So current ratios, current assets upon current liabilities, also known as working capital ratio. Liquid asset test ratio, current assets minus inventory. So only inventory is excluded from current assets. So upon current liabilities, also known as quick ratio. So then rate of inventory turnover, cost of goods sold upon average inventory. So then whatever answer you give, that you have to be, it has to be in times. So then trade receivables turnover ratio. So trade receivables upon credit sales into 365. Trade payables turnover ratio, trade payables upon credit purchases into 365. So all these ratios are very important. So that's all in IGCSE. So all these things we'll be discussing. Plus we'll be discussing question papers, previous year question papers, lot of question papers, test and knowledge questions. So keep updated. So we'll discuss now we will discuss the important syllabus. So we will discuss the syllabus for AS and A level. So as per Cambridge Assessment International Education, this is as per the board. So relevant for Cambridge International AS and A level Accounting 9706. So we will be syllabus for exams in 23, 24, 25. Okay, 25. So relevant year is 2025. Exams are available in June and November series. Exams are also available in the March series in India only. So in India only March series exams are available. So along with that, we will have June and November series also. But in India, March series is also there. So let us have a overview of what is there in AS level and year level. The depth of knowledge displayed by the best A-level students make them prime targets for America's Ivy League universities. So, syllabus overview. Cambridge International AS level students study topics 1.1 to 2.2. Cambridge International A level students study all topics 1.1 to 4.4. So remember all topics. Okay, so all topics you have to be thorough. So let us see a brief overview of AS level. So exclusively for AS level topics, type of business entity, the accounting system, accounting for non-current assets, reconciliation and verification. So preparation of financial statements, analysis and communication of accounting information. So A level topics are preparation of financial statements. So regulatory and ethical consideration, business acquisition and merger, comparative accounting systems, analysis and communication of accounting information. So then, so there is another part. Cost and management accounting. So cost and management accounting, cost and cost behavior, traditional costing methods, and for A level you have ABC, advanced activity based costing. So standard costing, budgetary and budgetary control, and investment appraisal. So now let us have a brief overview of the detailed syllabus. So there are three rates for Cambridge International AS and A level accounting. AS level only paper one and paper two. A level paper one and paper two. You have to complete the A level, that is paper three and paper four, or A level directly. So paper one, paper two, paper three, paper four. Candidates take all components in the same exam series. Okay, so this is how it is. So under knowledge and understanding is very important, prime importance. So analysis and evaluation. So all these things you should have comprehensive skills. So correlate, remember, and apply application skills. You should be thorough. subject content. So now let us have a brief detailed overview of subject content. So financial accounting AS level types of business entity. Candidates select for the various ways any business may be structured with reference to legal form, ownership, management and control. Candidates will be investigate the benefits and drawbacks of each type of entity from the point of view of owners and other stakeholders, and will provide a context for the preparation of financial statements. Types of business entity. Candidates should have understanding of different types of business entities, sole trader, partnership, limited company, advantages and disadvantages of this type of business entity. Sources of finance and methods of funding this type of business entity including loans, secured and unsecured, bank overdrafts, payment by installments, rental leasing and alternative to purchase, state credit, sources of finance for limited companies and 1.4. Candidates are expected to use their understanding of types of business entity to take relevant decisions. Questions of limited liability partnerships will not be set. So limited liability partnership is different. So limited liability partnership is different from partnership. So we will not have any questions based on limited liability partnership. The accounting system. So candidates will examine the need for the accounting records of business transaction as per how the double entry system can be used to achieve this aim, both in manual and computerized accounting system. Additionally, candidates will consider the accounting theories and concepts which form the basis of financial accounting. The accounting system should have understanding of the principles of double entry system to record business transactions, the accounting equation, the role of books of time entry in the recording of business transactions, sales journal, sales return journal, purchase journal, cash book, general journal, preparation of ledger accounts. The purpose of trial balance, the advantages, disadvantages of maintaining full accounting records, the accounting concepts underpinning the preparation of account, business entity, historic cost, money measurement, going concern, consistency, prudence, relevation, duality, materiality, objectivity, matching accruals and substance were found. The use of computers accounting systems in recording financial transactions, the advantages and disadvantages of introducing a computer's accounting system, the ways in which the accuracy of data can be ensured within a computer's accounting system. Candidates are expected to use their understanding of the accounting system to evaluate relevant information and make informed business decisions. Knowledge of specific applications of software is not required. So you don't have to be familiar with any particular software when you are learning this. Accounting for non-current assets. Candidates will look at the classification of business expenditure, a particular reference to the treatment of assets within the longer form in business. So candidates will also consider the purpose of methods of recording the cost of using these assets over time and the subsequent change in value should have understanding of the difference between treatment of capital revenue income and capital and revenue expenditure, the effect of profit or loss on asset value of incorrect treatment of capital and revenue expenditure. So very important aspect. So you'll be learning all this in AS level. Changing assets values. Candidates should have understanding of factors that cause the value of non-current assets to depreciate, the purpose of accounting for depreciation of non-current assets and the associated application of relevant accounting concepts, how to calculate depreciation using the reducing balance and straight line methods, the most appropriate method of calculating depreciation, how to measure the value of non-current assets, the method of the cost model or revaluation model, how to prepare revaluation ledger accounts and journal entries for non-current assets acquisition revaluation, depreciation and disposal including entries for part exchange, how to calculate profit or loss on disposal of non-current asset, how to record the effect of charge and depreciation in the statement of profit or loss and the statement of financial position. So reconciliation and verification. That is the main another support. So candidates will assess the importance of being able to prepare complete and accurate financial statements for underlying records. In doing so, the candidates will consider the various methods available to identify and rectify errors and omissions using internal procedures and third-party documentation as well as exploring possible limitations of such measures. Reconciliation and verification. Candidates should have understanding of the need to reconcile and verify ledger accounts using documentation from internal and external sources, the benefits and limitations of reconciliation and verification procedures. Reconciliation and verification. So trial balance. Candidates show understanding of errors which affect the trial balance, which do not affect the trial balance, like error of omission, error of commission, principal error, original entry, error of face, original error of original entry, error of compensating errors. How to prepare ledger accounts and entries to correct errors using a suspense account, the effect of financial statements of correction of errors, the benefits and limitations of the trial balance. So we will learn in 1.4.2. So next one is 1.4. Three, bank reconciliation statements. Candidates with understanding of updating of cash flows, how to prepare bank reconciliation statement, the benefits and limitations of preparing bank reconciliation statement. Control account should have understanding of entries in control accounts, sales ledger control accounts, and purchase ledger control accounts. Reconciliation statement between control account balances and ledger balances, effect on financial statements of correction of errors, the benefits and limitations of control accounts. Candidates are expected to use their understanding of reconciliation verification to highlight relevant information and make informed business decisions. The next important topic is preparation of financial statements. Candidates will consider all figures in trial balance need to be adjusted in order to prepare a complete set of financial statements in accordance with the matching or accrual concept and other fundamental accounting concepts in particular. Candidates will examine the different formats of financial statements necessary for sole traders, partnerships, and limited companies. Candidates will address specific aspects related to how partnership account for individual partner share of profits and losses and truly study the characteristics of limited company financial statement, particularly share capital and business. This gives an opportunity to drill down the background information relating to types of business entity introduced in 1.1. So adjustments to draft financial statements. Candidates should have understanding of how to calculate and record the adjustments needed and the effect on financial statements in respect of accruals and prepayments of income and expenditure accounts. So this is accrual concept. So recall debts matching principle. So recall debts, irrecall debts are recovered and allowance for recall debts, depreciation, inventory valuation, correction of others. So then so using these applying these adjustments, we need to prepare sole traders, accounts of sole traders like income statement and financial provision statement of sole traders. Candidates should have understanding of how to give a statement of profit and a statement of financial position for a sole trader from full or incomplete accounting records. From full or incomplete accounting records. So we should be able to even from incomplete records, we should be able to prepare financial statements. So this is another aspect you will be learning in A levels. Next important topic is partnerships. Candidates have understanding of how to prepare a statement of profit or loss appropriation account and a statement of financial position for a partnership firm. A full or incomplete accounting mode, the business may be a trading or service business, while partner may maintain separate capital accounts and current accounts. How to prepare partners' capital accounts and current accounts, the content of partnership agreement, the advantages and disadvantages of the partner of maintaining partnership agreement, the provisions of Partnership Act 1890 in respect of partner salaries, division of profit and loss, interest on partners' loan, interest on capital, interest on drawings. So next, one time have one for preparation of financial statements of limited companies. The candidate should have understanding of features and accounting treatment of ordinary shares, bonus issue, right issue, debentures and dividends and reserves. Questions will not be set on preference shares.